His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Bobi Wine has busted a plan of stealing elections by the regime. I've already followed the process of this election, and it is very clear that it is not going to be free and fair. In a tweet which was written by Bobi Wine, he came out to say that we are now informed by some friendly gissos and pissos that the criminal regime, very scared of an impending election defeat, are trying every rigging technique in the book. They have provided them with a code 194, which is linked to their phone numbers. They have instruction to send manipulated election results to ISO, brackets Internal Security Organization, which will in turn forward them to the National Tally Center. Let the regime know that we are watching every step and abandon these criminal schemes. Some of these security operatives driven by patriotism have demonstrated to us how the entire operation is intended to run. Recently wrote to BYABAKAMA about the need to comply with the law to the latter, including pinning a copy of the DRA form at every polling station immediately after counting the votes, and ensuring that we are supplied an electronic copy of the DRA form, tally sheets and return forms from every district immediately after tallying. So Bobi Wine is coming out with a tweet that security is being used as an arm of stealing elections, which are impending, by the way. And for me, in Uganda, we are not new to Jerusalem. Uganda has had a history of election fraud since time immemorial. In fact, in the 1980 Bush War, the reason as to why we had a civil war was because of poor handling of elections. So the purpose of this video, I've come to talk about the stealing techniques which are being used by the regime, what means for our politics, and most importantly, the certain materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagali. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. First of all, when Bobi Wine comes out as a whistleblower to say that elections, there is a scheme to manipulate elections, he has everything within his right to do so. I keep on telling people that among the very many people who enjoy intelligence away from the General Kaguta Museveni and some institutions which are supposed to enjoy that intelligence, another person who enjoys intelligence is Bobi Wine, is an opposition leader, and in this case is Bobi Wine. Because as someone wants to take government home, even those within government would want to join the next government, so they end up giving out information. And for me, I keep on telling people that the way BYABAKAMA speaks, it shows that he's presiding over an election that is not free and fair. Well, I remember when he told people that after voting they should go home, yet the constitution says contrary. Okay? It means that they were fighting the law. This is the truth. In fact, when he was asked about stealing of election, he retaliated with a bravado. In fact, he said this statement.
N'omuntu n'osulango omutima gukwewanise n'onemmere n'olema n'okulya emmere bagenda okutuba bwe tutabeera ku polling station batubye tulina okubeera sebo ogenda kufa pressure ya bwerere amateeka galambise bulungi ebintu naye okujjako bantu ba Uganda tebasoma amateeka naye n'oli omuntu n'ayimira ku muzindaalo n'atandika kwogera bitakwatagana amateeka nga n'ogamba kakati asooka asoma etteeka ligamba litya tubagamba mwagala kalu ak'emirembe mwagala kuloka amazima n'obwenkanya sebo nyabo fwe bwetu amateeka tumanyi gagamba nti osobola kuyimira mita 20 kuva ku tukimanyi nefe nga kakiiko tugamba kusinziira ku bye tujje nga tulaba mu kulonda okwakabaawo oba by elections oba okulonda kwa bonna abantu bo bagamba kusigala ku kifo kimu nga bawagira abantu benja bakandisa benjawulo okumara essaawa 5 oba 6 bali mu kifo kimu sebo osobola okukakasa nti teri kigenda kubalukawo wakati w'abantu bano onoobakuumi otya nga tebatandise okubagana empawo kyandibadde kirungi muddeyo waka dene ebiseera by'okubalagululu musobola okujja mulabe you witness okubalanga bukugenda mu maaso n'ekintu kikola olw'obulungi ekigendererwa kyaffe nga kakiiko kwegamba nti tusobole okwewala ebisobola okubalukako ne byonoona biki ebigenda mu maaso oba ne bitiisa abalonzi bamu obutajja kulonda. Sigamba nti tulina ekigendererwa kyakubira kalulu oba kyakola ki ba agents sebunyabo we bali ate abo bakkirizibwa kubeera munda wali ku polling station.
That is BYABAKAMA. The way BYABAKAMA speaks without following the law, the bravado, okay? The contempt he has against our constitution, the contempt he has against our electorate, it shows how these people handle elections. And for me, when I see this injustice happening, when we have a history of a civil war, when we have a history of ever being a failed state because of the election, I start to be scared, okay? Do you know that as we speak right now, the election is being controlled by the army and the police? You may think that the army caused the shot. The Electoral Commission fell back. The Electoral Commission is the one to give orders in the way our elections are supposed to be handled. But contrary, the police even shows how the candidate is going to move, block C from entering cities, block C from entering certain districts. Yet the Electoral Commission is keeping quiet. I keep on telling people that as these schemes go on, they point towards a failed state, and if the country fails, we are going to be in it together. Just that these fellows, some of them have houses outside the country. In fact, there is a talk show where Honorable Semjunganda took on the spokesperson of the Electoral Commission. In fact, he said these statements.
You no longer have police in the real sense of police. They have become part of the military run by Muhoz. If he says go and beat this one, will run. And then he will be on radio and TV to explain that actually beating these days is very good because Muhoz Kainerugaba has said so. This whole problem of ordering voters to go home, Ofonopondo has spoken very well. You ought to have guided voters. We hear they are saying this and that. Please, you can be around as the law says, but if you do the following, we will remove you. Nobody will be blaming you. But you start by amending and reversing the law. Then why was it made? Go home. And then the chairman of the Electoral Commission is acting like a cheerleader. Oh, if you don't go, they are going to pick you like a grasshoppers. And that's the chairman responsible for this exercise.
Kenya will tell us maybe he could have been quoted out of context.
There is no context there. So the law is very clear. Yes, you can stay if you choose. And the police does not even have to announce that if you commit a crime, will come for you. Because even if you commit a crime inside a polling station, police can still come and pick you. So it was needless for you to go on radio and everywhere and begin proclaiming, because it is your responsibility. Even if he is an election officer who has committed a crime. Because assuming I go to vote and the man boxes me, you mean you will not pick him because he's a presiding officer? No, I am saying I sympathize with you because you are trying to validate something wrong. And it doesn't matter how many times you will go on TV to say this is okay because people are many, what. The law says if they choose, they can stay. Your responsibility is to tell them once a crime is committed or it is suspected, who will come in and nobody is going to blame you. But when you begin ordering against the law, it means you're acting in bad faith. And
Honorable Semuji,
yes.
You are saying the machines are here, you trust them.
I fear because you see, and I was on a radio station this evening and I told the people, knowing the NRM people, I'm not sure they have bought the right machines. You remember in Chogam?
No, they were procured by Electoral Commission.
It doesn't matter. There are NRM people who you will not see, but they are usually responsible for procurement. In Chogam, they told them to buy limousines for visiting heads of state. Government vehicles are supposed to be manual. Jim Muhez and others went and brought automatic. Then they spread them in garages in Kampala to try to fix, change gearboxes. So I sympathize also with Kenya, who is trusting these machines bought by NRM. You wait, they are going to fail.
Okay.
That is Honorable Samjunganda. So for me, I keep on telling people that everyone has a duty to fight for equity, to fight for constitutionalism, to fight for human rights, to fight for a free and fair election, because they are a catalyst of something worse to happen to our country. And under sinking boat, in a sinking boat, there is no winner. We shall all end up in a bad spirit. Of course, it's my opinion. Remain yours truly, Mr. Makindi. Kabye Sulaiman Mawagali. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. See you on another one. Peace.